our little pottery studio. I wanted to tell you all about a purchase we recently made at Costco, and it was a little Yardistry greenhouse. We've been wanting a greenhouse for quite some time. We're pretty avid gardeners. We've been gardening for quite a while, maybe 25 years. We've grown in our garden beds, we've grown in our knowledge, but we've not acquired a greenhouse. We would love to use a greenhouse for growing our own seedlings, as the local nurseries in our area, the prices on seedlings have just been skyrocketing. I don't know about your area, but they've just really shot up. I'd say since about 2020, we've seen a really dramatic increase in the seedling prices. So that's first and foremost our reasoning for getting a greenhouse. Additional reasons are maybe growing some more tropical plants. Putting this little greenhouse together, again, it's the Yardistry greenhouse. It's about 8 foot, 8 foot long by 7 foot wide by 8 feet high, approximately. We will probably make a few mistakes, so you can watch those too, so you don't make them, hopefully. And I think we'll have a few tips and tricks for you as well. My husband's in construction, and so he's the handyman, and I definitely am not. So it'll just be the two of us putting it together. The instructions do say to use 3 people, so I think we can get it done. We'll see what happens. I'll also let you know about how long it takes us, just the two of us, to put it together. If I have to contact customer service, I'll let you know, and how that goes, and just the whole experience overall, and you can follow along. Alrighty, so we ended up missing 2 pieces, and we called that in right away. Also, there's a space on one of the pages to put your model number. Make sure you take account of your hardware as well. As you can see, things don't line up exactly. We're working on it though. Okay, so I used the rubber mallet and tapped it into place. It's looking good. Just screw everything into place. Alrighty, moving right along here. It's going together pretty easily. The top is a little different. You want to make sure when you're doing the gable, one side of the board is a little thicker than the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but make sure you get the thinner side on the front of your structure. The thicker side will go towards the inside, and ditto with these boards, which will hold the gable panel. So here's the end of day one. We still have quite a bit of lumber over here and more on the truck. We need to do the door, the roof, and the shelving. But we're getting there. Looking cute. Morning, guys. We're about 7 hours into the construction on our Yardistry greenhouse assembly, and we're hoping to get it finished today. We need to finish putting in the windows, roof, and shelves, and the door. So follow us. It is imperative that you have a rubber mallet as well for your installation. It's going to come in real handy trying to get this thing maneuvered into place. So make sure you get one of those too. It is not on the materials list that I saw.
Okay, when you're putting these on, you got to make sure there's a short side and a long side, and it doesn't tell you that in the directions. Not that I found. The short side goes to the inside of the greenhouse, the long side goes against the board. Okay, so this comes with these screws, but the directions from Yardistry says to use these screws, so I'm using these screws. They're bigger and they look like they'll probably hold better. Okay, so you screw this in halfway. Okay, and then you put it in. You put this pin. Well, doesn't look like the holes are lined up exactly right. Okay, we're going to finish this installation here. The reason the door is, or the window is open is because it's almost 100 degrees here. And before I could get this thing up here, it started to expand and open the window like it's supposed to. So, hopefully this winter, when it cools down, this will be shut.
And you really aren't supposed to install these over 95 degrees, but it's pretty hot here every day, so. All right, looks good.
Okay, I'm going to peel this UV side off first. And then before I forget which side it is, we're putting these little sticky notes. That's the UV side. That way when you get it outside, you don't forget. By the time you put the tape on these corners, that little cut corners, sometimes it's really hard to see, so it's a lot better to use these sticky tape. Okay, I've already pre-cut.
There's a notch right there, lower right.
Already pre-cut these, the tape. And this isn't how they tell you to put it on. This is just how I put it on. And it seemed to work for me. I don't know if it will work for you. I've been taking the tape, using this dotted line. That should be a third. A third. Take it down. And turn it over. Pull it towards you. Done. Hold your corners in. For me, that's a lot easier than trying to go one side than the other. Same thing on the other side. Here's the top tape.
We also pre-measured all of our strips of tape, so they're pre-cut, pre-measured. 1 inch past each end, don't forget that, because you need it to come up the
And
side.
don't go over that because they don't give you any extra
No.
tape on the
No.
bottom ones. Okay, so this one here, I just kind of eyeball, kind of like 1/4 of an inch up. Hold it over on a flat surface, pull it towards you, pushing down. Done. Hold your corners. Done. Okay, so we pre-cut all our pieces and I made a mistake and I cut one too many. So as long as you stick with your 1 inch over on each side as they recommend, you will still end up with enough if you make one mistake, but not two. Only one mistake is allowed, or you've got to get more tape.
Crew's all here. There's Pumpkin, Honey Bear, and Jake. Welcome to the funny farm. It's our little pottery studio.
I'm getting ready to screw this thing down to the base. Before I put on the door and the shelves, in case it moves a little bit, it does anything in a bite.
nails are those?
These are 2.5-inch nails because you have 3 between here and here. You have approximately 3 inches. That way, I don't hit the concrete.
Got it. All right, we're getting ready to install the shelving. The first thing you're going to install is the wooden gussets. And the directions say to install them 31 inches from where?
31 inches from here, which is right here. But that doesn't leave you a whole lot of room. And
Yeah.
plus, my wife is short, so we're going to go 29, which is right here.
Perfect. Keep in mind your counter is going to be right here, so you're not going to be able to get too awful close in case you're short like I am.
On the lower shelf assembly, when you're installing this piece right here, which goes like this, right here,
That's the long shelf joist, by the way.
be sure you have it turned to where the screw is going back into the corner. Not this direction, because you'll miss the corner of the greenhouse. You'll know if you put it in there like this because this screw hole will not line up to the wood. So you just turn it over because this hole is actually on an angle. Okay, I went ahead and took one of these boards and set it here on the shelf, because that way you don't have to measure your 5/8 of an inch like they tell you to do in the directions. That is 5/8 of an inch. So then you just bring your face board up level with that, and that's where it goes. This board, this face board, is pretty warped, so I'm not going to attach it on the ends like they say. I'm going to wait until I get this center piece in to attach it right there, so the stretch goes outward. If I attach it here, this bow is going to be stuck in here.
Alright, Bill's working on the lower shelf assembly.
I'm just using this piece here for a spacer to give me my 5/8 of an inch. So that way I don't have to measure and try to figure all that out. So now that I have it where I want it, even flush with this side over here, we can turn this over. Screw my screws in, and then even if this board wasn't exactly perfect straight, you would know that you have it right because of this piece right here. Okay, so the directions say to put this first plank in here flush up against the back side. So I'm going to screw that one down there. And then it says evenly space these out. So I got these door wedges, frame wedges, whatever you want to call them. Home Depot, I just happen to have some, and they happen to fit pretty good in there. These are 1/4 of an inch. These are just a hair over 1/4 of an inch. But I think they're going to space this out pretty good. A lot better than the warped boards. So these are just what I'm using. I think it's gonna work out just fine. Or if you don't have these laying around, you can always cut this up. You're not gonna need it anymore now that you have all your glass up in your framework. So I really don't think you need these anymore. But I'm gonna cut this out right here and remove this trip hazard. And then I'm going to attach this to the bottom of the door to make up for this space right here. That's not what the direction says, but that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, tells you in the directions to use these spacers in here. What I did, I took some of this painter's tape and doubled it over, stuck it on here and stuck it to the door frame. That way I can hang the door by myself. And then I went down and got this. Go to this bottom peel. I gotta cut the length and then I'm gonna screw it in here. And then that little brush is gonna sweep that concrete, keep anything, dirt, debris, or anything from going inside. Pests, anything like that. Okay, so I already pre-measured this an inch down, like they say, and 1/2 inch in from this corner block. So that's going to be right there. Shorty, what are you doing?
It's definitely warm in here. And bright. Because so many people have been locked into their greenhouses, my husband put this latch on an angle. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Okay, since I put the seal on the bottom, it's pretty tight and it actually holds the door open where you don't need to use your little slide adjustment. But what that also means is this door is not going to automatically close on you. So unless you want the door closed, it's going to stay open. You'll have to close it manually, not spring loaded. Maybe that, maybe at some point that'll wear in and not be so tight, but that'll keep it from getting locked in there. Okay, so now that right there will catch the door. If the wind comes up and decides to blow it, this will keep it from breaking this hinge. Supposedly.
Final touches. Putting in the ceiling hooks and the little Yardistry plaque with its info. I'd say it was every bit of 2 days worth of work, wouldn't you, Bill?
Probably more.
Probably a little more, yeah. So.
This is day 3 for us. We didn't.
Yeah, I didn't help an awful lot. I read the directions, got pieces, held stuff here and there. He mostly did it all. So.
We weren't trying to rush through anything or.
No.
So. I mean, I would say 2.5 days. You don't really want to rush through because there's a lot of warped boards in this, and but you have to figure out how you're going to straighten.
It's turning out nicely though. The window's working well. Closing at night.
Stay tuned for some upgrades that will be done at a future time.
That's right. We already have plans for this thing, so we'll definitely be doing another video with some more tips and tricks. Hello, my gardening friends. So today our grand reveal day. It's semi-done. I'm not quite finished yet. Of course, I'm not out here planting as it is quite warm yet here. You can see the windows all the way open. Not sure what the temperature is outside, but I'm sure it's pretty warm inside. You look over here. Bees are buzzing. Hold on if you can see the fountain. I've got quite the swarm. They are definitely thirsty today. So anyways, here it is. I'll show you the inside. Notice the silk flowers for effect. I do not have any plants indoors yet. It is definitely too warm out. And you know, I wanted to tell you guys, I was using this little standing desk. It's actually adjustable, so I can lower it during the build, and I've decided to keep it in the greenhouse. I think I can use it for extra space for seedlings. Don't have anything on the hooks yet. Got a little surprise install coming up. We'll show you guys later. A little fun video when we'll be doing it. I cleaned all of my dusty, dirty, cobwebby pots, and they are now in here ready for some plants. I have a couple more potting soil containers that'll go under the counter. Various things down here, some more pots, some silk flowers because let's check the temperature. 121. I definitely don't want to try to put anything that's alive in here. Not yet anyways. I'm real happy with it though. And you know, I started thinking, I think this could be used for a variety of different hobbies. Definitely not when it's hot out, but I don't know about you, but we love rock hounding, and I thought, wow, what a great place to store a rock collection. Or maybe a little hobby shed or she shed. Uh-oh, what is that, honey? Did it try to get you? She jumped back when she touched her nose on the pots. Anyways, we're really happy with it. We'll eventually put a little fan on the back side of that vent. And, well, like I said, we got some other plans. I'd like to have some lighting in here for the evenings. On a hot day, I could maybe get out here and do some potting. And in the winter, we're gonna need some heat. They do sell actual greenhouse heaters. I'm gonna try using an oil heater. I can't think of what they're called right now. I guess just an oil heater? I don't know. Anyways, I love it. It's great. My husband fixed the door so I didn't get locked in like so many other people said they do, but it's a little hard to close, which, hey, that's okay. I'd rather have a sticky door than get stuck in there, 121 degrees. Right, honey? Are you ready to go in and cool down? Me too. Let's go.